Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is R.DeHoyos, and I am the Joint Terrorism Task Force Supervisor. The intent of this executive brief is to update the recent terror attacks that occurred today in Washington, D.C., and provide an analysis on the potential terrorist threats. So the current situation, what we know, this morning 2 separate bombs exploded on a Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, or the WMATA trains carrying passengers. The first bomb went off on a red line train at 8:35 a.m. and was followed by a second bomb explosion on another train at 8:50 a.m. This was during the rush hour of the DC train station in the morning, so it was very populated. Both trains were destroyed from the blast, and multiple casualties were reported. Authorities at the WMATA quickly announced a shutdown of the DC mass transit system shortly after the second bomb. And 45 minutes after this, the FAA shut down all traffic in and out of Dulles and Reagan airports. Preliminary reports indicate that death tolls of 46 and 109 from both bombings, respectively. Shortly after, a separate attack involving 2 gunmen occurred at 9:45 a.m. outside the Metro Center station during the subway evacuation. 2 gunmen were reported to have opened fire on the evacuated crowd at the corner of F and 13th Street. The 2 gunmen fled the scene and are still at large. The FBI was able to connect 2 men, David Shaw and Michael Labrowski, as the bombers, into a Falls Church, Virginia home. In the home, it revealed bomb-making chemicals, IEDs, rifles, large amounts of ammunition, expired boarding passes from Turkey, and counterfeit passports to countries such as Canada, the EU, Australia, and South Africa. Both men, David Shaw and Michael Labrowski, were among the casualties from the bombing this morning. Situation analysis of what we think we know. Last week, the FBI, Joint Terrorism Task Force, received intelligence reports announcing an ISIS threat targeting multiple major American cities and Washington, D.C. Each of the 13 states and Washington, D.C. have suspected ISIS support networks. While there has not been any claims of responsibility, ISIS is at the top of the list for responsible terrorist groups. It is also suspected the bombers had assistance from handlers in the train station, that the handlers were also directly involved with the gunmen or potentially were the actual gunmen. Based on the evidence in the home, there may be additional personnel involved with the gunmen that traveled from outside the U.S. to assist with planning and executing the attack. We are analyzing closed caption television from the station to make any further connections, and are also seeking to speak with family and known associates to determine any radicalization activity among the two. So some recommendations of what we don't know, or also what we don't know. We currently do not know if there will be any follow-on attacks in the DC area or any of the other 13 ISIS-targeted cities that were mentioned from last week's report. We also do not know if there will be any infrastructure targeted in those same cities, especially the Reagan and Dulles airports. We recommend increased security of public transportation hubs such as airports, bus and train stations, and any critical public infrastructure locations such as airports. We also recommend keeping with the FAA's plan of closing the DC airports for at least one more day, or until we have a clearer picture of the threat posed, whichever comes sooner. We anticipate having a clearer picture sometime in the morning. The FBI has established a Joint Operations Center and is working closely with local law enforcement agencies to mitigate any future attacks, investigate the recent attacks, and determine a way forward. The FBI has also reached out to the public in the DC area and in the Falls Church area for any information regarding the attacks. Now, pending any questions, this is the conclusion of the brief. Thank you.